up, run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up, count it up. Ayy, hundreds and fifties and 20s, no fives and no singles, don't count on them. Ayy, she want it like me, cause her like she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like them keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, one point to guard.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts. Whole team counting, that's a big number.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready?
Camara Drive-In. It's the coach. This is the 2020 season on EA Sports. Coming up, 2017 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alvin Kamara, fresh off a big performance a week ago, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys taking on the New Orleans Saints. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This... The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is taken at his 4. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a man who rewrote Brett Favre's passing records at Southern Miss. It's Nick Mullins.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. Oh, fighting off the defender. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. The first down screen pass, good for 5. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit, very tough to throw against, currently second best in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively, pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
And on third down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back.
Ready? Five.
They'll set up a throw. And that will be incomplete. Had to pass there, third and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for third and short, because when it's third and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback. Out of Oregon, it's Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota's skill set can help continue to evolve the position of quarterback in the NFL, because his ability to run with the football, you may not utilize it as little as other coaches have in the past. You may emphasize that part of the game a little bit more.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. On third down, Mariota. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And for them right now, not a done deal. So they are holding down one of the final wild card spots. And with 2 weeks to go, there are others kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And imagine what the talk has been all week within their locker room. And it's really, let's rely on ourselves, because they could get help and still get to the playoff.
And Kamara has it stripped. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Here we go. 70, Indy. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right.
It's brought in by Harris. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession and try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. From the 27, Mariota.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
Let's get off the field.
Working out of the gun, Mariota. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Sheldon Rankins, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fielded at the 43. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. The Saints coming out now to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
A bit of an opening there on the 1st down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 18 carries, 86 yards.
And a rushing title is definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there, but they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Able to find Harris, complete. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the 1st. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. They'll look to throw. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. It'll be a Saints 1st down on the pickup of 13. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again.
This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. On second down, Elliott. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Open man is Noah Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 30 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know they're going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
This will be caught by Brown. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Right now, they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so 4th from the bottom, Charles.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Cameron Jordan in there for the sack on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Running with Kamara. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Now back to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
From the 24, Mariota. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards there and a first down. Here's Mariota. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. Now they nabbed the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. To throw is Mariota, and that's Elliott, complete. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, this from 34. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Nick Mullins in the offense sent to take over. And what do you think's going through his head right now? Your team's winning, but you're not having your best game. That probably affects you even when your team is up.
You don't want anyone else to know it, but I think you're right. It bothers a quarterback because they always want to be the one to lead their team to victory with their play as well as their words. And in this case, he's got something he can fall back on. He's contributed, yet at the same time he's thrown an interception. Got to remember the bottom line, though. They're winning. So he knows if he plays better, they might be winning by more.
And it's only the 2nd quarter, so he's got some time.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
No gain there, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. He'll look to throw. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I want to wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. Yeah. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Kamara off the draw. 9 yards on the gain there, so he got half of it back, and it'll be 3rd down.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
They're going to look to throw. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Mullins now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. DeMarcus Lawrence in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw. And this is Cook with a grab. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll look to throw here. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 34-yard line. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Mullins and the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. They'll set up to throw. Open man here, Sims complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for him. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. Looking for Thomas, he's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Time to look now with our spotlight at the quarterback, Marcus Mariota. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Throwing again, Mariota on 2nd and 10. Got a man, it's Brown. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. To the air again, Mariota. He finds his target, it's Schultz. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Mariota. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Mariota again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Nick Mullins in the offense set to take over. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6.
2nd and 6. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Mariota. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On the counter, Elliott. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense. We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him, maybe even have a third person in the area, and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his. Because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. 2nd and 9 now. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
So the first thing that crossed my mind is, why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. And that'll set them back 5. So from the 2, now they move back to the 7-yard line. 1st and goal. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 7-yard touchdown grab as his guys have cut the lead down to 2.
And that's a terrific score. Now, what are we going to do here? Do you go for 2?
You know what the people at home want.
Everybody wants to go for 2. The analytics people probably want them to go for 2. I bet they kick the extra point. We've got a whole second half left to play.
Now, we get a look at it here, but, hey, whatever the case, big-time play before the end of the second quarter. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is cut to 1 at 14-13. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom. End zone. So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out in the windy city of Chicago. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Looking to throw again on second down. Mariota, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Mariota. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Nick Mullins now heading out, the subject of our player spotlight. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. They'll look to throw. Complete. Smith has it. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And he finds Cook. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Go, go, go. Ready to go. Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Now back to throw. That'll be complete to Cook. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 there and a New Orleans 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Mullins and the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. He'll drop to throw. He's got Smith here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's good for 28 yards. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Ready, break. What we got? What we got? What we got?
Back to throw here. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
Go now. 70, Indy. Here we go, D.
They'll run it with Kamara. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. Alvin Kamara, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, we got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
It means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people, to power his way forward.
The Lutz will look to add the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Marcus Mariota getting ready to go again here on offense. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Elliott on first down, going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On second and 11 now. Mariota, and that's Elliott, complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something, because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
19 yards there on the catch and run. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Defense.
a free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And here's a throw that's taken in by the tight end Cook. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 17 there and a New Orleans 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Anthony Brown there on the tackle. On the ground, Kamara. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now Lutz for the field goal try.
A 27-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Marcus Mariota and the offense heading back out for their next possession. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Hendrickson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Mariota to throw it. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Mariota now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Elliott. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. To throw on 2nd and 6. Mariota. This will be caught by Brown. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 41-yard line. Mariota on first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together?
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him think.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and then he curls back inside for the completion.
Check, 47. Watch the screen, watch the screen.
First down, Mariota. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Again, it's Mariota. And that's going to be incomplete. The Cowboys on third down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This will be third and forever. Throwing, Mariota. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be fourth down.
They should put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the third time tonight. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Offense.
Now, those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
Ready, set. 55. Check, 55. Mike. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. Bang, bang.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. He'll look to throw, and Thomas has it. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. He gets it complete to Harris. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Mullins and the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
53-yard attempt.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. Mariota now to throw on 1st down. That one complete to Elliott. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Here's Mariota. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Check 43.
Mariota again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
To the air again, Mariota. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Now Mariota. He's got Jack Doyle. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far.
A 27-yard attempt.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
On the ground, this is Kamara. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
They'll set up to throw. Open man is Michael Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete.
Intended for Jared Cook.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Mariota sets to lead this offense. Down by 8. A minute 44 to go. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on first down.
Game situation. Let's go.
Back to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Mariota. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas first down. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they've got to continue to move quickly.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. And 2 big plays, one after the other. Now all of a sudden, they're on the march.
Got to feel good about what they've just gotten done, and now feel really good about what's in front of them.
2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
From the red zone now, Mariota. And this will be caught. Touchdown. So in the final minute here, now a 2-point conversion will tie the game.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the 4th. Huge conversion there to tie this thing up, but they're not done yet. Their defense needs to get a stop.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for the other team to come downfield and put some points on the board, but job 1 was taken care of. The 2-point conversion to get this thing tied.
Boy, hard to ask for a better game thus far. 27 apiece is our scores. The kick's away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. 2nd and 2. And that'll be incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Back to throw. And he finds Clark. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. He'll look to throw. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Four quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. They go to Elliott again. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Third and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive. Now the first throw in overtime for Mariota. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot. Check 52.
From the pistol, here's Elliott. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Minus 47. Minus 47.
On 2nd and 9, Mariota. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. On first and 10, here's Mariota. And that's Elliott, complete. Give him 3 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Mariota. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Complete to Bryant. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. On for a very important punt here in overtime. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Part 1 is done, now part 2. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. He's got Smith here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The busy night continues for Kamara. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Defense.
In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Back to throw here. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his fullback there, Zach Line. And it's 2nd down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And he's got this down to the 35. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
They run it again with Kamara. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And this is Cook with a grab. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They're going to look to throw. He gets it complete to Harris. And they'll get to him short of the first down at about the 16. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming from the right hash. This from 33. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care